This is the life and sad ending of the Oceanliner SS Canberra. This is from the Daily Echo, and it was published on September the 23rd, 2025. The Canberra first emerged on the drawing boards of the famed Arland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast in Northern Ireland, commissioned by P&O in 1956, and was a ship of ambition and immense scale. At a staggering cost of £17 million, her construction was a monumental undertaking. On September the 23rd, 1957, the first keel plates of what would become the yard's last ocean liner were laid. Her sheer size was the talk of the town, with a gross tonnage of 45,733 and a length of 819 feet. She was the largest ship built at Arland and Wolff since the iconic HMHS Britannic. On March 17, 1960, with cheers from thousands of onlookers, the Canberra was christened. The name, a tribute to Australia's capital, foreshadowed her destiny as a vital link between UK and Australia. In May of 1961, the SS Canberra embarked on her maiden voyage, a grand journey through the Suez Canal to Australia and beyond. Her early years were spent as a dual-purpose ship, carrying 548 first-class passengers and 1,650 tourist-class passengers. However, the world was changing. The dawn of the jet age meant that long-distance air travel was becoming more affordable and accessible, changing the very foundation of ocean liners. In 1972, the Canberra was refitted and reborn as a single-class cruise ship. This transformation was remarkably seamless, with very few external changes. She seamlessly transitioned into a life of leisure, her elegant interior now dedicated to vacationers seeking adventure and relaxation. The Canberra was also a marvel of engineering. She was powered by the most powerful steam turbo-electric units ever installed in a passenger ship, a cutting-edge system that provided a smooth and stable ride. She also featured a distinctive bulbous bow and side-by-side funnels, a design that made her instantly recognizable. The most dramatic chapter in Canberra's story unfolded in 1982. On April 2nd, she was cruising in the Mediterranean when the Argentine military junta invaded the Falkland Islands. The very next day, the British Military of Defense requested the ship for a use as a troop ship. The Canberra, affectionately known as the Great White Whale due to her pristine hull, was swiftly refitted and sailed for the South Atlantic. Her sheer size and gleaming white paint made her visible and vulnerable to targets. However, her mission was vital. She transported 3 Commando Brigade more than 9,000 nautical miles to the heart of the conflict. Remarkably, she remained untouched, with Argentine pilots later claiming they mistook her for a hospital ship. After the war ended, the Canberra played a vital role in repatriating captured Argentine soldiers. Her return to Southampton on July 11th was met by rapturous welcome from thousands of grateful Britons. The Great White Whale had become a national hero. The Canberra's role in the Falklands War cemented her status as a British icon, and her popularity soared. For years she enjoyed elevated ticket sales, as the public clamored to sail on the ship that had served the nation so valiantly. The ship's voyages were not always smooth sailing. On the most dramatic and bizarre events of her history was a storm she encountered in the Bay of Biscay on September 12, 1993. A passenger account of the incident paints a vivid picture of the chaos. As the wind reached severe storm force 11 and the sea swelled to 45 feet, the ship felt like a ghost ship, with all passengers daring to venture out of their cabins. The aftermath was even more chaotic, as the Alice Springs areas of the ship resembled a place of a tornado swept through it, with slot machines, tables, and chairs overturned, and windows in the crow's nest having been blown out. The most surreal moment, however, was the sight of the 5th life raft, which after 4 others had washed overboard, inflated and flew over the starboard bridge wing and landed on the observation deck, where its lines became entangled with the rigging and bent the topmast. Age and high fuel consumption, coupled with the new safety regulations, signaled the end of her long and illustrious career. In 1996, P&O announced the Canberra's retirement. Despite a last-minute bid to save her, the decision was final. On September the 30th, 1997, the SS Canberra was withdrawn from service. Her final voyage was to the shipbreaking yard in Pakistan. It was a somber end for the ship that had brought so much joy and had served with such distinction. Her solid construction meant that the scrapping process took nearly a year, a final fitting tribute to her robust design. Definitely a sad ending, but it's better to end up in the shipbreaker's yard than sunk at the dock somewhere or somewhere on anchor, like happens to a lot of them. I'm just glad I wasn't on her in that storm in the Mediterranean. I've gone through 2 storms in the Mediterranean, and let me tell you, they were both nasty, but nothing compared to what these cruise passengers went through. That must have been one hell of a ride. All right, guys, there it is. As always, thanks for watching. If you're new here and you like these kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you on the next one.